And how's it going, everyone? I forgot to move the microphone to another episode of No Excuses with your favorite show hosts, Ara Still. Is that Fern talking?
I don't know. I
It
didn't hear
was.
anything.
Is
I
my
just heard a
microphone
strange
decided to
noise.
start to play up right now?
Yes. Right now you sound crap. I don't know
Technology,
why. I
folks.
waited until Aristiel pressed the record button, but everything has now fallen apart. And I am Vola Salm. We're here to bring you the latest news and games commentary for the week that was. All of us here together for once at the start of the show. Except my lungs, who are still trying to get away from me.
They have
If
been
you'd like to get
acting
involved with the show.
for you for the last few weeks.
Yeah, it's something that really drags on with me. I suffer inflammation of the lungs every time I get sick, and it takes weeks to go down. But it's hard to tell, but it is better than it was. But if you'd like to get involved with the show, you can do so by sending us email at noexcusesvtw@gmail.com. You can follow us on the Twitter at noexcusesvtw. Or you can join us in the Discord server, the best place to communicate with the other show hosts and listeners to the show. By clicking on the link provided in the show description underneath the show archive on YouTube.
Yes, indeed. So, today we've got the new characters that we were waiting on in the Wuwa. Well, mine's an old character, but new for me.
But it was your original inspiration upon seeing the trailer for Renashita.
Yeah, like I saw the gameplay videos and I saw people walking around as Phoebe and Phoebe riding in the tub pup, and that's the first thing that almost made me download the game. And I'm like, Phoebe's too adorable.
In my case, it was they announced Chisa and they announced Carlotta was going to get a rerun banner, and that basically was what got me to re-download the game after having only just briefly tried it out at launch.
So yeah, we both made questionable decisions.
I didn't spend any real world money, so
I didn't.
They're not that questionable if you didn't spend real world money.
Yeah, except for the part where I think we both want some characters in 3.0.
yeah, it's going to be rough.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I'm more inclined. Like you're just going to pull on anything blonde without much extra thought. So you're probably just going to go full on for Cartathea. I'm going to wait and see if there's some other characters in the next patch that synergize with Chisa as well. Because while Cartathea wasn't designed with Chisa in mind per se.
She was designed with
Arrow Rover in mind, basically.
Yeah, Arrow Rover and the rhythm game girl.
Chicona.
Yeah. So yeah. I like a bunch of the characters that I played, but I'm planning on Cartathea banner rolls around, which will be, if the rumors are true, sometime next version. So we've got a while, and apparently there's going to be quite a bit of Astrite flying around this cycle.
Well, I sure hope so.
Yeah. So,
like the opposite of what Genshin got. Genshin has been dry, and even whatchamacallit, ZZZ's been dry.
All three of them feel like they've been given less lately. Now, I don't have the daily login bonus running in any of them. So maybe it just it feels more so that way. But characters radar with it, I want really, really bad. So and my Genshin supplies are fine. I didn't pull on Nefer. I've had quite a while to cost there. But yeah. But everything I built up going through the main story, the events that I did poke at or do, what was it, the Vampire Survivors one and the current event, all that down the tube for Phoebes. And
Timu Sephiroth.
And Timu Sephiroth, because he just can't not.
I went through this with Shepard, so I know what it's like.
See. Just to make sure people understand, he's still level 40, but I have him at C3. I pulled 4 copies of this dude. But yeah, Paul got Chisa to C3, and I got Feeb to C3. I only pulled 2 of them out of the gacha. I used Coral for the other 2 wave bands, but I'm completely tapped on Coral.
Yeah, I'm tapped on relatively tapped on Astrate, although I've had some recouping. Like I say some in a very relative way, but I still have 193 coral in the bank, so I'm not dry on coral. They'll probably end up getting turned into pools. Because I'm unsure about exactly what the value of getting wave bands for coral is. Like, there's probably math I can do to work out just how valuable it is, but
eyeball math was: do you think it's worth 50 pulls or the wave band to the character that you want?
do you think it's worth risking another team with Sephiroth?
Yeah, because I know I'm at hard pity right now. I haven't got the 50-50 yet. So the next pull I do is going to be...
Your boy is waiting for you.
Yeah, it just... Like, it's not... it's technically possible Cardathea could come on that 10 pull. Technically.
I can only imagine the sigh of relief that you would breathe.
Yeah.
Because you know your boy is waiting for you.
Yeah, and I don't need the crazy wave bands on her. I did that for Feeb because Feeb was kind of special. And I wanted to be able to play her as a main DPS, which really hard to do without her third wave band. The rotation is really janky.
That logic was the logic that I applied, though. Except Chisa's a support.
Yeah.
She's not an on-field DPS.
Yeah,
however, her third wave band massages a whole bunch of her burst multipliers so that she can actually do something respectable when she's on the field.
Yeah. Whereas I had to go from sub DPS to main DPS, she went from support to sub DPS.
Now, this was my logic that I wanted to apply to Sitlali, but Sitlali never really gets there in the end. There's no way to make her into a DPS. There are a few crazy people who built Critlali who would argue otherwise, but it's not very practical. But when I pulled constellations for Sitlali, the argument was, well, I want to expand her application. And that actually has worked, because Sitlali was previously a vape melt support, and that was pretty much all she was applicable for. But having her at C2 basically makes her applicable to Frozen and Lunar Bloom as well, which has been really, really helpful, because while Nahida's better for output on the Nefer team, the comfy level of having Sitlali on the team is so high that I just prefer that most of the time. I only usually put Nahida on the team if I'm running with, like, Spiral Abyss resources where characters can only be used once, or something like that.
It's got, it gives you a couple hits of cushion there instead of, Nefer getting one shot or Kokomi blowing herself up. Mine is not C2, however, so I just have to not blow myself up.
Nefer has to get in really, really close to fight, and there's always I don't know, when you get good at the game, it's probably not a factor, but when I'm using heavy attacks, I tend to hesitate on my movement and stop moving, because I'm waiting for the heavy attack to go off from the hold. Yeah. It's not how you're supposed to play, but sort of instinctually I do it, and that gets me domed a lot.
Yeah, you need you can buffer it a little bit, and Genshin's hard to buffer with, because even with good latency, it seems to have some built-in delay on the buffering, where if you push it too early, it'll just cancel whatever you were doing. And this is probably more of a quirk with, it's not very clear with what animations are cancelable and which animations are bufferable, because it's going to be one or the other, but Genshin has both. And you just kind of have to get used to it on a character-by-character basis. Fern got a new character in Wuwa just now.
Just now, I got me an Encore.
Got the good sheep.
Encore is by far the best DPS to pull from the standard banner.
Yes.
Yeah. If you can get during your sort of honeymoon period Encore and Verena, you'll be set for your progress. You won't get held up by inability to fight things.
Yeah, I'm running into a lack of Verena wall.
I've still got the freebie character that you get for signing up early, and that one's already set to be Verena. So once I get to that point, I'll bank her, and there we go.
Yeah, I didn't get far enough to get that when I started.
Yep.
But
I didn't get it because the program didn't exist. So I just got lucky. That's how I got Verena and Encore. I just got lucky.
It's a fairly recent thing that they're doing, I think.
It came out about, I think, 2.5, 2.6.
Anniversary thing or something, wasn't it? I thought
anyway. Yeah. Yeah, all the newbie guides assume that you set like the temporary newbie banner to Shorekeeper and get Shorekeeper, and that you get Verena from your pick tech for
Yep.
for building any team. So they're totally useless for me because I have neither one of those characters.
Well,
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
currently stuck in cutscene hell, so I can't actually look at anything. But
Bosia isn't bad. Like, you can use her.
I mean, she does work in pretty much everything except the two rotating in game modes. She's enough. It makes there's
Her output is non-existent.
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
you will struggle bus a little bit on some fights, but sometimes she can just dodge counter dome the dinosaur with the Gudra and somehow do damage to it.
Although we don't
Yeah.
really know why that works.
So the freebies I've got actually currently available. I've got the Verena freebie already lined up, but the other one it's going to give is what's her name now? Sanhua.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
permanent event.
that's a free force. Yeah, she's a sub DPS. She's the best. She's the best sub DPS when viewed in a vacuum, like without team context, because her outro will increase basic damage pretty significantly, and she's got a really short on-field rotation. So when you're sliding from your support through to your main DPS, she's really good. Particularly for a team where you're going from Verena through Sanhua to Encore. Like, that's basically the ideal free-to-play initial setup.
Yep.
And you'll see Sanwa listed as like the go-to. I don't have any of the premium options or the 5-star options for the sub DPS slot. They just stick Sanwa.
Yeah.
She's still competitive with the premiums simply because she's got a shorter on-field rotation than the premiums when built.
Yeah. The other freebie up at the moment is Yang Wu, who you got to do tarot adversity to get.
Yeah, that's you don't hurry on that one. He's not useful for anything. I've got him at max wave bands. Like, I've pulled about C25 of him by now.
I just didn't even think about him when he showed up during the polls for Feeb because he's on the banner right now.
My first encounter of him was him just kind of standing around during a cutscene. He's just suddenly there and there's no explanation.
That is the entire extent of his contribution to the story.
Oh, okay. So he's come up, he said one line, and now that's it.
Yeah. At least he's a 4-star. Our boy Timu Sephiroth doesn't show up until the card game event in freaking Septimon.
Oh my.
Yeah, but he's from the New Federation. Like, he doesn't live in any of the countries we've been to, and he doesn't mainly do business in any of the countries we've been to. So it's unsurprising that we haven't seen him.
But yeah. So yeah, he exists. But yeah. Vern, you had a week.
I kind of did. It was the back half of the Hell March weeks plural. So as of last night, basically, everything should be starting to get back to normal now. So hopefully I will have some time to actually stop and do nothing. And by do nothing, I mean do nerdy stuff. So haven't really done much, unfortunately. It's just been work. Work. I did get a new cat out of the process, though, so that's coming along.
What sort of cat?
Another Maine Coon. So these are...
giant?
This one's not. She's a little girl who's an ex-breeder, whose family line really didn't go anywhere. So, yeah, she's cute. She's a squawker. She is very, very vocal. And she will hit you with a flying headbutt out of nowhere. So, yeah.
So you've acquired another small animal to harass you when you're attempting to record things.
Yes. And if I don't lock this one out of the room, it will sit in the background and squawk. So, yeah. It's good. But it's only been a couple of days, so she's still settling in. As far as nerdery stuff, been chipping away at Shield Hero because when I've got nothing else to do, it's just easy to sit down and just watch it. and I'm on to season 2, and I have encountered the turtle.
Oh.
The
Yeah.
Spirit Daughters. the
Yeah.
best CG of all time. Beast Wars tier.
It wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't running at like half the frame rate of everything else as well on top of everything. It's just why? Why did you do that? Yeah, and yeah, I see what you mean about the that whole plot hole about the aspect weapons as well, or whatever they were called.
Yeah, the vassal weapon.
The vassal weapons, because I do recall when the scythe wielder shows up and actually starts explaining things. It does say what the vassal weapons are, at least in general terms. This time, it's no. There's the vassal weapons. Here's 3 of them.
Yeah.
We're not going to actually say anything about them. Off we go.
Yeah, they just kind of it's almost like they assumed you read the manga.
Yeah. Like the manga at this point hadn't explained everything about them, like exactly how many of them there were or what their direct relation to the cardinal weapons was, but it at least explains some things. Like yes, they are vassal weapons, and they work similarly to the cardinal ones, but not quite. But yeah, no, it's just like here he is. Here's this bad guy who is a wise ass.
You know, because reasons. Dang it, I want
Because
a
reasons.
little.
There was also in the manga, I believe, a full chapter basically explaining these other world heroes deal, basically, rather than like 3 sentences.
Yeah, they've moved. Well, I don't think they moved it, but that arc still exists where you go to the other world.
Yep. Because I can't remember if it was actually at their introduction or if it was a little bit later, but they kind of explain why their world is in danger and why they need to stop the cardinal heroes from succeeding in order to save their own world. But I just threw myself off a cliff. That was fun. Yeah, I'm doing the Wuwas in the background and trying to catch the main story. So, sometimes abilities just fling you off cliffs. So yeah, there's big old plot holes right there. But at the end of the day, it's still a fun series. Honestly, though, with the anime, if you go through season 1, which is a dual core, and call it good, that's a good place to stop if you want to. Because you get your catharsis and your payoff from the big opening hook, and things are starting to look good and all of that, and that's your happy ending right there. So you don't necessarily need to continue if you don't want to. Yeah, it's not like certain other anime, like Shokugeki, for example, where the next season is just completely superfluous. But yeah, if you want to, you can stop there. I haven't actually kept up with the other anime. Digimon is probably the one I'm still staying on top of, and that's kind of starting to settle into the Monster of the Week arc now, as it tends to do. If it's going to follow the pattern, it'll probably do that for a little while until the next big plot hook comes along. No idea when that's going to happen, though. And that's honestly about it for animes. Gaming-wise, not a whole lot. I dusted off Return to Moria because I was feeling a bit Lord of the Ringsy, I guess, and that's like the last decent thing that Lord of the Rings came out with. Also, they just put out an expansion, which is interesting looking. But it's still fun. It's not a very complex game in terms of combat or like harvesting. You basically run around the mine, collect resources, build your base up, and then move on to the next section and repeat, while fighting some very, very talkative orcs. And singing about digging holes, that happens as well. And yeah, honestly, that's it for my weeks. It's just been work. Way too much work. So honestly, I can blast through my week like that quick.
Was it Shadow of Mordor? They had the Australian.
Shadow of Mordor, or Shadow of War, actually, the sequel.
Okay.
Yeah,
the
it had
Australian
Bruce.
orc.
Oh no, put Feeb down. Put me down.
You deserve it for preventing me actually landing any hits on anything.
Blew everything on him, and he lived with 1 HP, and then decided he was very angry at Feeb for dumping all the resources on him.
Yeah. Honestly, I've been tempted to go back and play through Shadow of War again because just the Nemesis system in that game is so freaking good. And we'll never get it again.
Not without paid DLC behind it.
Well, yeah, that game's a few years old now. There's no more DLC coming. But it's more because of how the legal and copyright lawfare behind the whole Nemesis system is put together. So unless Warner Brothers pops up and actually does something with it, which they won't because they don't know what money is anymore. Literally, they're actually kind of broke. Yeah, we're not going to see the Nemesis system for a while, or something similar.
What do they own that's still worth talking about?
In terms of IPs,
Yeah.
not too much these days.
Do they still have DC stuff?
Yeah, they still have DC.
They still have Looney
they've
Tunes
got
and DC.
Lord of the Rings in a lot of ways. Looney Tunes, I suppose.
I mean, that's a bigger deal than you would think here in the States, because Looney Tunes is what most people in the US associate with Warner Brothers because of a theme park chain that hadn't been doing super great in a lot of places, but the one around here, Six Flags, like the theme park to go to with your family. And
Is there just one Six Flags?
No, there's a few in several regions.
Yeah. In Australia, we have Warner Brothers Movie World, which is largely, at least for the younger kid areas, it's largely based around Looney Tunes. But they tend to run around.
I enjoyed that place. That was fun.
It is exactly the same. I
don't know. Like my favorite thing that my most clear memory from there was the stage show for Police Academy, but Police Academy is not a thing anymore.
Yeah, and I think that's gone, and the log flume is Scooby Doo themed now. And honestly, that's about all that's changed from when I last looked at it. I went there as a kid and had a great time, and went back a few years later, and yeah, they've got a couple of new roller coasters, and one that's Batman themed, and I think one that was Ghostbusters themed at one point. And yeah, they haven't changed the park all that much at all.
I'm fairly sure that there's nobody left with the stones to make another Police Academy movie that bears any resemblance to the classics.
The thing that always sticks in my mind with our local Six Flags theme park.
I just dug up a chest somehow.
Okay, I'm coming back.
Apparently I can't open them, but I can dig them out of the ground.
Okay then. The Six Flags here has a particular memory for me with its rides. There was one, you'll understand where this is going immediately, that was called Monster Plantation.
Oh my.
And I used to love this stupid little dark ride. But it had to be modified into Monster Mansion. because that was just too much for them.
Okay, here we go. Let's
something Song of the South.
They removed that. That has been Disney will not talk about it anymore.
They pretend that doesn't exist.
Yeah, they've tried to rehabilitate Zippity Doodah a few times, but they just can't break the Uncle Remus connection.
Yeah,
I almost said Uncle Ruckus connection.
I mean, that would be an entirely different experience. So actually, looking at Movie World's site now, they've got a new Wizard of Oz themed district, which is based on the old classic movie, not the recent interpretations. And it's got a roller coaster in there, the Kansas Twister. So there you go. Beyond that, Oh, and the Ghostbusters roller coaster is now a Green Lantern roller coaster. They changed the IP without actually changing the color of the ride.
Nobody likes the Green Lantern. He's not cool.
Nobody cares about Green Lantern. I know. So yeah, it's still the same theme park it's been for 30 years.
Our Six Flags is
Don't the
relatively
Green
safe.
Lantern writers usually let him do anything he wants?
Pretty much.
Yeah, they've taken the reins off of him. Last I checked, they just whatever the writer like, pretty much.
Yes. It's not like quite Golden Age Superman levels, but it's getting there. Just whose ass can we pull a solution out of today?
Ow.
So yeah. You know what? I haven't actually looked at the Australian SeaWorld website in a long time. I think I went to SeaWorld when I was like 12, and that was it.
Yeah, I think I was a little bit younger when I went to SeaWorld.
Yeah, which was actually thrown for a loop a while back. I was playing You Don't Know Jack, and they had a question about how many SeaWorlds are there in the world. And they got their question wrong. They only listed the US ones. So I think there's 3 in the US, there's 1 in Australia, and there's 1 more somewhere else, but I can't remember where.
Do that thing that deleted half of its health.
Hell on it.
Let's see, how different is this place?
But thankfully, our Six Flags is probably pretty safe because it always has stupid high attendance. It's always hard to move in there, and it's the reason it's like that is because its shtick has become roller coasters as of late. Because we can't have good, nice things like Monster Plantation anymore.
Yeah. Honestly, looking at SeaWorld, it looks the same as well.
Well, dolphins don't change much.
Dolphins don't
Just the
change much.
dolphin.
I don't think that big wooden roller coaster is at the back there, and there wasn't any Paw Patrol, of course, but
Is
Oh, no, they've
that
got a-
bizarre Bermuda Triangle ride still there?
I'm just looking for that because that was a whole thing.
That was like the newest thing when I went there.
It
was like
doesn't
super
look
hyped, but it was also very weird.
Yeah, they don't have that many rides here anymore by the look of it. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. At least I haven't got it listed. So there's a whole bunch of SpongeBob stuff there now as well, which is annoying and weird. So anyway, theme parks are still a thing, apparently, even though they are dying off slowly. Because I think in Australia at this point you've only got Dreamworld, SeaWorld, Wet n Wild, which is attached to Dreamworld, Movie World, and Outback Experience, and I think that's it at this point. They're all on the Gold Coast.
Get lost.
It is literally a maze.
So anyway, that's it for my week. I have nothing. I have some dwarves singing about digging a hole, and that's about it.
I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole.
Yes.
Diggy diggy hole.
They made the diggy hole a game mechanic, so there's that. Give them props for that. So yeah, I'm going to leave my week at that because I got nothing.
Nothing.
All been work and cat now, but work. Also watching keeping an eye on the various headlines coming through YouTubers, and thinking that might just be time to give up on humanity.
Always time to give up on humanity.
Yeah.
You can live for a few individuals sometimes, but humanity is at large.
Oh no.
No, that's like that.
No, phone has disappeared.
Right. So your week. Ain't much Hoyo going on.
Week. So I guess we'll start with Blue Archive. Blue Archive have the Hyaku Allied Academy version of the summer event. So all of the apart from Nagusa, who's still I think Nagusa still doesn't even have a swimsuit version. The swimsuit versions of the Hyaku Roran characters out, and most of them are not really good at all. Just not really very notable. But that doesn't matter. I still pulled Yukari anyway because I adore Yukari as a character. She's theoretically, like on paper, she's very intelligent, but she seems to have nothing between her ears. Like she's just relentlessly optimistic, but extremely low on street smarts and common sense. But yeah, at any rate, she's sort of the local Desawa character for Kyakyako. But the story itself, it's very clear at this point that they've just sort of given up on the idea of worrying about whether people are caught up with the main story or not. Because this clearly takes place not too terribly long after the latest chapter of the Hyakyako main story. So they just don't care. Like they're done worrying about whether people are bothering to keep up with the main plot. The event plot's now just sort of like they succeed on from whatever happened recently in that area without too much in the way of additional explanation. Usually the information won't be like critical for most events, but there'll be certain like names and events that will be mentioned that won't make any sense if you haven't kept up with the main plot. But yeah, it was a cute little event. Basically a summer water sports event being put on by the festival department, and the shenanigans that ensue because the operations officer of the Hyakuroyan has managed to keep under wraps the fact that she's afraid of water up until this point. But yeah, there's not really much to report about it as an event, but it was a fun little story, and Wakamo got to appear very briefly as a sort of like a cameo character toward the end of the story. It was all good. I enjoyed it, but it's pretty much normal fare. I think the next event coming up is also a summer event, but it's the Trinity one. So it will be the opportunity for Mika and Saya and Best Girl Nagise to get their summer outfits. So looking forward to that. But yeah, the main I've been skipping more and more of the routine weekly events for Blue Archive simply because I've got a big pile of pyros to get the characters that I really like, and there's just I can only kill the same rain boss so many times before it becomes, oh please, I don't really want to do this again. But yeah, I've got like 150,000 pyros, so if a character comes out that I want, I can just get it. I still log on every day and do a few things and guard my number one. I'm usually in like the top 10 for PvP on my server, and I've been aggressively guarding that. But I'll eventually fall behind in that simply because I'm not doing a lot of the character building events. So yeah, eventually that will fall off as well. But yeah, it is what it is. Genshin is not doing much except for this really
The incredibly riveting rhythm game event, though.
Yeah, that is a thing that technically does exist.
The only good thing about this event is the fact that the rewards are a Mualani and Nailu Standy.
Yeah, you're just gonna fill your teapot with Nailu standees.
Only allowed to have one, I think.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's not a recipe; it's just an event reward.
Oh no!
I made a note about something that looked conspicuously multiplayer cheap bait on my map.
Yeah, it's not a very elaborate or very long event. It is a match-made event, and I have difficulty understanding how these people can be at their keys and clearly trying, yet somehow managing to not succeed.
I could understand you're not really paying attention, missing like a note or two, but that because it's so dang easy, or maybe it was a longer sequence and you just totally zoned out and missed one. But these people, they're
Special.
yeah, they're special, all right.
It is an extremely simple Simon Says game. Rhythm appears to be entirely optional.
Yeah, calling it Simon Says would be
I mean, I don't know
generous.
what else to call it.
Yeah, I know, I know.
I mean, what am I supposed to call it? A rhythm game?
Yeah, I know. It really, it really is Simon Says, but most of the time Simon only says one thing.
Simon's not feeling very motivated either. But yeah, it's not the
Here,
most riveting event that I've ever participated in, I have to say. What are we doing? Oh,
this
we're
was
just both going.
it was the most conspicuous. If there was a sneak
Nope.
for co-op, they would put it here of all time.
Nope, there's no sneak route for co-op. We are just both sitting in chairs.
Oh, that's sad.
Only one storm can approach at a time.
You need rings.
I always need rings. Everybody needs rings.
But he's dang it. Up. Oh, there you go, Feeb. Oh, Feeb bad. Ran off the edge. That catalyst auto targeting might save us for once.
So Chisa has a very odd first wave band that is actually very good for harvesting guys like this. And that's that what's that? It's always shaped like a seashell when people describe it, the geometric function. This sort of like perfect spiral thing.
Oh,
You know the one I'm talking about. I can't remember what it's called. You know, it's always depicted as a set of concentric,
yeah.
sort of pseudo-concentric quarter circles. I can't remember what it's called. It's just completely fallen out of my brain. It's not even a very descriptive name. Golden ratio. Golden ratio. So
Okay.
her first wave band is based on the golden ratio, and it's a very strange wave band as a result. And that's that any character that gets touched by Chisa's damage takes the decimals of the golden ratio in damage for 5 figures, or can have at maximum the decimals of the golden ratio in percentage health left, whichever is less. So basically, when you if I tag everybody in an area and they're tiny mobs like this, none of them will have more than 60% of their base health, roughly.
I see.
Or they will take like 60k damage. Something like that. That was challenging. You really taxed by that one.
Oh yeah. You ripped him out of my circle.
I can't control the chainsaw. It has a mind of its own. I'll try and stand in the circle first before doing it.
It's not that big of a deal if they get out of the circle. All I need is them to be in the circle when I do a charge attack to put Frazzle on them. Fish, however, a bit of those Gufflepuffs just seem to die. You can with Feeb. They must. I wonder if they have low spectral res.
I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, Genshin's not doing much. What Genshin did this week though was they did their preview stream for the next patch, and well, it seems like a kind of a sparse patch, I have to say.
Yeah, just main
It's-
story stuff.
I mean, it's sort of hard. Well, and the thing is that the main story is like, well, I don't really know what the main story is about, right? Because we sort of dealt with our boy Reria in the last one, at least on a sort of temporary basis. It's sort of hard to
Right.
tell how much his banishment is going to stick. Oh, Fern's back, so I'm going to be more careful about spoilers. But it seems like this is basically the next patch is basically Nodcro's having their sort of their moon festival thing, and so Colin Bean is going to basically try and take the opportunity to try and get home, and the implication from what the Hex and Circle have said is that actually that kind of doesn't work anymore. So Nicole's going to show up, and Alice is going to show up, and so on and so forth. But the way they previewed the story content in the stream sort of suggests that it's sort of going to piecemeal cover a whole bunch of different characters' concerns, rather than having a main core narrative that is followed through. But it's sort of hard to tell because they always preview it in a bit of a strange way that makes it hard to follow. So yeah, I'm not really sure exactly what is implied by all of that. But yeah, there's not many very significant enhancements being made to game functions, except for speeding up the dailies thing. Like if you've got the points from searching treasure chests to skip your daily commissions, you can just go straight to Catherine and complete that whole loop rather than having to go through the rigmarole of claiming them from the menu and then going to Catherine after you've done that in order to claim your I completed 4 commissions today reward.
That's good. I wonder if they're doing it because Hoyo's putting out so many games now. They're worried the Hoyo loyalists will adopt less games if it takes more and more time. Because
I mean, I don't think that's the primary concern. Probably, I mean, it might be. I can sort of see the logic, but I think it's a sort of a smaller scale enhancement than that. Although they did preview their new game this week, like a half-hour long trailer. I haven't watched it. I sort of scrubbed through it very briefly because I didn't have time. It didn't particularly appeal to me. It sort of looks like anime Resident Evil. At least that's the vibe I got. I don't know if I'm down for that. But
okay, not the incredibly twee farming simulator that they also announced.
No, that was weeks ago. Like
Yeah.
they've announced quite a number of different properties lately.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sure how they're planning to coherently develop all this stuff. And this new one that they previewed this week is they're still hiring for the team. So obviously they haven't spooled up to like maximum speed production yet on it. But it's also further along than being a tech demo. So yeah, it's not all the way there yet. But yeah, so the next Genshin patch is also going to bring in the enhancements for a handful of the old characters, so that they will be able to contribute a bit more than they used to, provided that you are grouping them with each other. Like, you need to include more than one of these characters that are going to get the enhancement quests in order to get the benefits of their enhancements. Just I don't particularly like, because it seems like there's just not really a need to do it that way, and they've just chosen to do it like that because they can. And I don't really like it. But whether or not I like it, is not going to impact their decision in the slightest. So it seems to just have been the direction they're going for thematic purposes. Though I think that prioritizing, thematic reasoning in Genshin is kind of bolting the door after the horses left the stable sort of thing. But yeah. At any rate, it looks like kind of a scrappy patch with a lot of little bits and pieces in it. But they are calling it an interlude in the story. They're not calling it like a main Archon quest. They're calling it an interlude. So yeah. They're also redoing the whatchamacallit quest. I forgot what the sodding thing is called. The one where you, what were they, birds or something? Like, one of the sort of the what was it? You like swat things with a pedal, and it was at the game event, the game development event that happened in Inazuma and that type of thing. They're redoing
one.
that one.
Yeah,
they're redoing that one again. They're redoing one of the Saurian challenge things again. It's probably going to be multiplayer. Like it seems like a very content light patch, and I don't know. I'm getting a real. And this is not based on evidence. This is based on my sort of resentment. I'm getting a real feel of like, this is Miliastra Wonderland's fault, and from like, it's, you can't really tell based on social media, but the vibe I get from social media is that participation in that game mode has dropped like a stone.
I've heard it's...
It honestly felt like a novelty at best. So I'm not really surprised by that.
I've heard that it's more popular in countries that, like China, that have Roblox banned.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the reason it's been developed. It's because, well, they have a market niche and they don't really care that the West doesn't. But
bolting it onto Genshin, and they can say it's an independent dev team all they want. The fact that it's bolted to Genshin is going to cause shoes somewhere that eats.
Yeah, they're going to be working in the same office, so
yeah,
I don't buy that one is not affecting the other. And a lot of people, now this is the sort of thing that people complain about on Twitter, and it turns out to be, baseless garbage. But people are claiming that there's a correspondence between a drop in the amount of content and when measured in terms of primogems, and a drop in an increase in the amount of Miliastra Wonderland garbage. And they've also more or less stopped giving out primogem codes outside of the streams now. They've all been replaced by Miliastra Wonderland currency, because they're shelling that right now, and a lot of people are salty about that too. It's like, because people, particularly in the West, seem to just not care about Miliastra Wonderland at all.
No. I mean,
I can't say
we've got,
it's not very compelling.
We've got Roblox, and it comes with added perverts. It's what we've got now.
I must say, the memes about with the built-in Miliastra Wonderland, where it came out right at the time of the Hassan dog collar thing, were hilarious.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, it is what it is. We'll just have to see how Genshin does in the short term. There's a lot of negativity currently surrounding upcoming kits in the patch to follow the next one. People are basically have because the hate train for Cyrene has died down. They've transferred this hate train to Columbina now, and Columbina is now Cyrene and is not going to work for any characters except for Nodecry ones based on the no kit that we've got. So yeah, the leakers have basically been causing a lot of a lot of unrest by saying things like Columbina doesn't have any ability to shield, she doesn't have any ability to heal, she doesn't have any ability to generate lunar reactions on her own. And in fact, there's a whole list. They've listed so many things that she doesn't do that nobody can work out what she actually does do. So, yeah.
That's assuming these leakers are not just talking out their asses, of course.
Yeah, which is often the case. Super often, especially of late. But yeah, it's a lot of people are also sort of a bit annoyed because it looks, based on like the couple of frames that you can see, that both Nicole and Alice are going to be pyro characters, in addition to the fact that Durin was already a pyro character. And people are like, why? Like, in the land of pyro, you weren't willing to release any pyro characters except for Mavwika, and now that we're in Nodcry, everybody's a pyro character? Really?
Yes.
I mean, that doesn't bother me too much. It's a little odd. But
Well, the thing is that you're going to run out of uses for them, to put it bluntly.
yeah.
I blew myself up with one of those explosive flowers because I wasn't controlling where I was attacking. But yeah, it's I think it does seem kind of unbalanced. I just want more Geo characters, basically. And Sandrone is like soft confirmed for Geo based on her design and the leaks combined. But yeah, we don't really know, and we'll have to wait and see what happens with Nicole, because I mean, Alice is obviously going to be pyro. She's got a pyro vision dangling from her hat. But in terms of the evidence from the trailer for Nicole, it's a lot more sketchy. Like, it's a lot more, okay, so based on this camera angle, we can see this thing, which on this angle looks like XYZ type of thinking. So, yeah, it could just turn out to be a storm in a teacup like so many other things. You're trying to ensure you can get Sonnet's casket detectors or something.
Oh, I'm just murdering crap as we walk and breaking anything that looks breakable. Just because we're just doing the show. So.
But I mean, I'd probably do need those Sonnet's casket things, because when I was trying to find the last few ones in Raguna, it kept showing me ones in Septimont, and I was really upset. But
you were upset, Timont?
Boo.
No, Aristeal. No. The answer is no. That was not the case.
I would have been proud.
But yeah. Anyway.
Buzz song going on.
Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so that's pretty much it for Genshin. Like, there was a lot of sort of chatting going on in the stream and not a lot of information coming out, and basically there was nothing that I would consider something to get excited about, because I'm just not really interested in pulling for Durin. I expect the long-term Venti fans are going to be pleased that his kit's getting a nice tickle up.
They're making him able to be on field now, right?
Well, they're giving him some more abilities that benefit from being on field. Like, his ult, once he's upgraded, he's going to be able to prolong his ultimate by firing into the creatures that have been captured by it with his regular attacks, which are going to be empowered as Nemo attacks during this course of his ultimate. So he has a reason to stay on field, at least for his ultimate, rather than just drop it and then move off field, which is more or less what he was doing before. But yeah, and he's also getting his new signature weapon, which in theory is going to improve his relevance somewhat. But yeah, there's not really much else there for Genshin at this point. But yeah, anyway, moving on to, I guess, Star Rail in terms of release order, we'll say. Star Rail, nothing happened in Star Rail this week. Obviously, it's still suffering from its content drought issues, although you wouldn't know about it from my social media feed since people love Currency Wars. I haven't spent much time in it because I've been focused on Wuwa this week, but and the week before, but people have been having a great time with it, just coming up with like the most absurd builds that they can use to just break the way the game works. Like the one that's been popular over the last 48 hours, and they do change that quickly. Like every couple of days, there's a new most popular build. It has been a solo Mighty build. In most contexts, Mighty is not very good in Currency Wars, but apparently, if you can set him up right with some supporting characters and just run him solo from the very start in every single round, he will, by the end of the game when things are getting really tough, be just an absolute monster with like 100k hit points. So yeah, there's a lot of fun being had in that community right now. They are actually focused on discussing tactics in the game and not on squabbling with people playing different gacha games, which is a rare occurrence for a Hoyo community.
Or just,
So
fighting amongst themselves because they need somebody to yell at.
yeah,
Yes.
I guess their energies had to be directed somewhere after Cyrene came out and failed to be the flop that they all prophesied she would be. But have you not done this puzzle? It doesn't look like these have been triggered.
Yeah, I'm trying to find them all.
But use your scanner. So there's not really much going on in game right now, but out of game has been absolutely bedlam this week. Because the other thing that dropped was a rumor coming out that because of the recent fracas between the governments of China and Japan, that Hoyo had gotten cold feet about Benzai Tengoku, which is the next place we were supposed to go on the Trailblaze journey, and are just basically pulling all of the nomenclature because it's too Japanese, and they don't want to attract the ire of the CCP at this time where they're really touchy by telling any stories that might be too glorifying of something with a Japanese aesthetic.
So what are they going to do? They're just going to put Star Rail on hiatus or something?
It sounds like they're just going to try and sort of retrofit all of the terminology to evoke Japanese themes less, because this is already like well along in development. Like the first patch is probably already done and ready to go. The second patch is probably mostly ready to go.
Oh,
the only thing that'll be remaining will be things like character balance testing and that, because that takes a long time. But yeah, so no rumors have come out with any concrete information on how they're going to handle it exactly. But I expect the people in the studio themselves are probably tearing their hair out that the upper management has decided all of a sudden to basically pull the rug out from under them. But there have been some purported leaks of renamed characters and that sort of thing, but they don't sound all that credible at this stage. Some of them might be credible, but a lot of them are not. But it doesn't really make much sense to me, like trying to retroactively remove the Japanese aesthetic from Sparkle would not make sense, because she's designed that way from the ground up. It would be completely idiotic. But I don't know what the commissars of the CCP are like. They may not care about practicality or something. They may just attempt to nail people to the wall. And everybody's like, but Kuro Games just released a patch for Wuwa that is loaded with Japanese theming. So what does Hoyo know that has got them so panicky all of a sudden in the same time period?
Yeah, while Kuro may be a big player in the gacha scene, they're not Hoyo. They may have got a personal visit.
It could be. Because Hoyo is probably publicly listed as well. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to check Wikipedia or something. But yeah, I mean, everybody outside outside the East, outside China, thinks that it's a ridiculous way to comport oneself to worry about things like that. But it's just a culture gap thing, basically. This sort of thing is really, really important. I mean, these types of sort of cultural approaches to honor and face and dignity and that sort of thing, they inform a lot of things that Westerners don't have to think about, because we have as decrepit as Western society has become, we still operate fundamentally on a presumption of goodwill from virtually everybody in society. Even if you want to present yourself as a cynical person and claim you don't think that way, realistically you do, you just don't realize it. You would not be able to function in a place like India, for instance, where things like right and wrong have no meaning. Like, right and wrong does not matter in a place like India. Win or lose matters in India. And it doesn't matter how you get to that destination as long as you get there. That's just the way their honor culture works. And it's not quite the same in China, because China's not quite all the way down that end of the spectrum. But they still will behave in ways that seem to the West completely irrational.
Also, from Oyo's point of view here, have the very real, tangible threat of the CCP deciding to make an example of you.
Yeah, you don't want them just like deciding, I don't like the way you've done things, so we've just elected you're the one whose assets we're going to seize, and then cook up some story about how you are a subversive.
All of a sudden, a couple executives get hauled off, and you never see them again, and nobody wins.
Yeah, I mean, these kind of things just sort of happen sometimes, and we don't really know what goes on. We just know that it happens, and it's a bad deal for everybody involved at the time. But
the threat of potential monster real consequences definitely seems like it would be the move-in factor more than anything.
Yeah, like they know something, or have had somebody speak to them, or something, which has got them gun shy. If in fact all of this is true.
If Twitter's not just lying because it's social media, that's what they do.
Like, if this has accomplished one thing, it's to get a lot of people interested. Now people all want to know what's going to happen next. But heaps of stuff has already, like, hints and marketing, and that has already been included inside the game in the current patch. So it would be a huge hassle for them to change anything at this point. But as irrational as the CCP can be, it's not unfeasible that is in fact the case. So yeah, it's sort of hard to say. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
I'm riding a struggle bus something hard here.
I can't shoot them for you. It doesn't work for me.
The stupid thing is like glitched out. I can't pop it.
Well, just quit it and try again then. You can end it early, can't you?
Doesn't give me an option to.
You can't stick click or something? Maybe it's considered so easy that you couldn't possibly fail it.
I'll do. Got an idea.
Oh no, Aristeel's had an idea. It's all over.
Oh, no, get off the bike.
That is not how that's supposed to work. This is not working, Aristeel. Oh, my game just locked up. Whatever you did caused my game client to have a fatal error.
Oh,
which is the first time that has happened to me ever. What have you done, Aristeel? What have you done?
I don't know. I've had a few of them pop up, but I did not get fatal error that time. Probably a good idea to reset the game anyway if it's acting funny. To log out and log back in.
But yeah, anyway, so yeah, we don't really know what's going to happen there. We're not too far out away from the next Star Rail stream and the drip marketing for 4.0, so they're going to need to, have their game plan put together pretty sharpish, because their window of opportunity to get it done is not very wide.
They've been
I was so hoping that they would clean up their act in 4.x, but if this is a real curveball they've been thrown, then that's going to probably get pushed back to 5.x now. Like, it's just going to go completely pear-shaped. Because this was supposed to be their big new locale was supposed to be Bensai Tengoku. But well, I loaded back into the instance that you just left.
Oh, I was relaunching the game.
I wonder if you'll rejoin this instance. Now I'm curious.
Real-time science.
Well, I still can't shoot that sign. The sign is now frozen on my screen.
Okay, it was now moving for me. Back in the box.
Curious. Anyways. Yeah, so most of what's happening in Star Rail is outside the game discussion. I don't know what's going to come of it. Nobody does. Everybody is sort of like waiting with bated breath for more leaks to try and find out what will happen. People are going to make their own inferences based on whatever happens in the next stream. I think it seems at this stage unlikely that Hoyo will address it directly. I don't really see why they would do that. But this also seems like unless they have been told something specific, this seems like a ridiculous overreaction, because like Inazuma's not getting removed from the game in Genshin. It's still there. Maybe it's not hype right now or anything like that, but it's not going anywhere. So they wouldn't be able to defend themselves against accusations of excessively portraying stories with Japanese aesthetics and themes or whatever that don't sufficiently glorify the great nation of China or whatever.
The great Winnie the Pooh.
But I don't know. It just seems like an extraordinarily unnecessary move, but the necessity will be dictated by what they have been told by the local officials. Anyway, ZZZ's also doing sweet bugger all right now.
Well, they're currently in Not China and have Not China characters coming up, so might be okay.
Yeah, they might be okay. But
bunch of vines there. Surely there must be a fireball around here. I think I see it.
There's essentially nothing to talk about as far as ZZZ is concerned. I don't think they've even got any events going. We're on the wind down anyway. With Dylan and Banyo coming out next. Still haven't landed on my conclusion. Like I really enjoy Dylan as a character. She's sort of like a more articulate, less obnoxious version of Monokuma in some ways. But
yeah, you were saying you wanted trauma, somebody's poor childhood and excessive trauma to not be somebody's backstory. Well, what if we made the character the trauma?
Yeah, the story with Krampus is that they're basically the enforcement arm for standards in tops that prevent anybody from getting too far out into murky ethical waters. When I say prevent, there's more sort of like attempt to prevent rather than actually prevent, but that do be how it is. But the judges who are basically inquisitors, are given pretty much free latitude in how to carry out the investigation and judgment, and Dylan seems to enjoy her job a lot. But yeah, she's come a long way from being the yo phone is linging meme girl to being this absolute lunatic. But yeah, I don't know if that's really a valid pull, because that's definitely going to be, well, now you have to open your wallet for Ye Guang next patch if I pull for her. And her overlap in terms of mechanics with Fufu is so strong. I mean, having two Fufus would be no bad thing. But yeah, I suppose it depends on how strongly indicated she's going to be for Ye Guang, if we can get information on that. But because Dylan is a... Oops, I just stole somebody from your circle again. Because Dylan is a...
Okay, it's stick time. Stick goes everywhere.
Because Dylan is a... what should I call it? I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, it's a first phase character. The odds that we're going to have decent information on Ye Guang's kit by then is pretty poor. It's going to be probably in CBT 1, CBT 2 at that point. So it won't be clear if there's some strong reason why the kits would lean on each other or anything like that.
Oh, where'd the fly go? Oh, you kidnapped it.
It got stolen by the Red String of Fate. Love me some flies. But but yeah, so not really sure what I'm going to do there, because I don't really need to just keep pulling stunners and supports all the time. I need to pull an attack character sometime. What?
Flies.
Oh, butterflies. Yeah, so that's that one. After that is pretty much Wuwa. We talked a bit about the pulling side of things at the start of the show, but the new patch has dropped. And, well, since Ari will be wanting to talk about it as well, I'll talk about the people who are not us, because this has been received very well in the East and extremely poorly in the West. It's been quite remarkable what the difference is, in fact. Like, the average reception has been positive everywhere but the English-speaking countries.
Yeah, I was decidedly neutral on this patch. I didn't dislike it. Thought it did okay.
I didn't feel overly strong about it. I think that if I was a huge fan of romance anime, I probably would have been all over it. But I just don't tend to watch so much of that anymore. Maybe 10 years ago.
An eonks since I sat down and watched romance anime on the reg.
But well, I don't have many negative feelings about it or anything. There are some things that I think, like, well, that feels like there's a bit that's been clipped out here. It feels like this part was left on the cutting room floor there, and it's made this flow kind of weird, and not really sure why it was done this way. But ultimately, it is one of those interlude patches that comes in before a major region change, and its job is to introduce the new area on a conceptual level before going on there on a physical level. And you basically see this type of thing in every gacha, like the Sunday patch and the weird patch immediately before Nodcry with Anefa and that sort of thing, where there's a story in there, but it always feels a little bit weird because it's conspicuously got nothing to do with anything anybody's cared about up until now. But yeah, I don't have any problems with the content per se, and like I said, I went back to the game to get Chisa. That was the reason, and now I have Chisa, and I'm quite content with that. I'm just not terribly content with how hard it is to farm her echoes because
They just came
Trinodian
out.
drops her full cost. Well, it's not even just that they just came out; it's that one of them is on Threnodian. Like, if it was on an Overlord class Echo, then I could just say Ari can get on, so we can just spam farm the crap out of this guy and get me some, materials to work with. But no, I have to do it by myself because it's on Threnodian,
Oh, we
which,
need,
for reasons that are not clarified by anybody at any time ever, is locked out of co-op.
yeah, but we needed those impermanence here in nightmare mode drops. We needed all of them.
I will never need impermanence here and nightmare mode drops ever again, I hope. But yeah, it is what it is. I've gotten, one good Echo and a bunch of mediocre ones, but I'll put some work into it over the next few weeks. Since now I'm heavily invested in Chisa, which was always the intention to some extent, maybe not quite to this extent, but it was always the intention. So, since I don't have much to do for the rest of the patch, since I don't have anything left to roll for Frolova or Cantarella, not that I really planned to, my attention is going to be diverted to developing this character then. And I'm happy with that.
So, Fern, have you considered that maybe what you need in your life is something bouncy? I don't actually know if Fern is here.
He had to duck out.
Oh, I thought he said he was back.
Oh, hang on. No, I did get back, but my mic was
didn't
turned
turn
off.
your mic on when you did.
Because work is still trying to intrude.
I don't think. I think that his dignity amongst his householders would probably take a hit.
If you do
with
want
excessive amounts of boing boings.
Yeah.
If you want a character
Yes.
with less boing and a whole lot of
issues.
Yeah.
Yes, baggage perhaps.
She is very good, but you could get the Farlova. But she is. We passed red on the flags a while ago.
Yeah, I think we're up to black flags at this point.
I mean, she would probably appreciate the red flag color more.
No, she's got a black outfit too. She only wears red because now she's a member of Fractitus.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Her normal concert attire is black. Yeah. If you get
still salty that you can't get that outfit.
I'm kind of curious why it seems like free money. They've already modeled it.
They've got so many of those though, right? Because we know Carlotta's got an alternate as well.
Well, you got the swimsuit in the shop.
Yeah, but the alternate white version of her outfit, because it's already in the game and people would pay money for it, and yet you can't. It seems very odd to me, but it is what it is. I do expect that it's quite likely that there will be more outfits coming out in the near future. There are rumors that Kartathea is already scheduled for one, and Zani got one this patch. Though I don't think you're going to appreciate that particular outfit much unless you're sort of into modern casual fashion as it currently exists in the East. It's not really a mode of dress you see as much in the West, even though it's all Western clothing.
I mean, it's fine, and the ultimate looks okay in it, but it's just I like Zani's normal outfit better.
Yeah, well, I think Zani's normal outfit, to her chagrin, probably says more about her character. She'd probably rather it didn't. But
yeah, she'd probably like that day off. But right now, she's the workhorse when I need something to actually die. Maybe when cocaine finally comes out, we'll get Zani a break. Till then, she needs to stay in her work outfit.
All right. Incidentally, I just unlocked Havoc Rover, so there we go. I'm progressing.
Congratulations. Havoc Rover get. Havoc Rover is a perfectly usable Havoc DPS character. And you will in fact be required to use her at a number of occasions in the story. However, she is not exactly top tier. She's serviceable.
They will give you a trial version though, so you don't have to level your Havoc Rover up if you don't want to. You've got Encore now, and that will get you through.
Yeah, I would focus on Encore until you pull a limited 5-star DPS of some kind. I would focus on Encore as your main character because she's the one that's going to be carrying you. You get your support to serviceable, you get your sub DPS to serviceable plus, and then you focus all of your real effort on your main DPS. That's how you get going early on.
That's the exact opposite of what me and Vol just did, by the way.
We're not good at this game.
Yes,
we saw.
Looking at a lot of the team builds and stuff that are out there, Havoc Rover tends to fill up like a secondary DPS spot in a lot of places.
He eats a lot of field time.
Yeah.
Well, he for you, I guess.
Yeah. Because I went with the canonical Rover. But yes. So it's like Rover's there as like a good secondary option if you don't have anything better to put in that slot.
Yeah, if you're running a Spectro Frazzle team or any generic team, Spectro Rover will do fine. And if you are running a Cartothea team only, then Aero Rover will be fine. But Havoc Rover doesn't lend to his or herself to any particular team. It's just DPS or sub DPS, whatever you're geared enough to do, is basically what Havoc Rover is for. It's basically, if you've got to this point in the game and you have been really unlucky on the gacha, so you don't have a DPSer, well, there you go. Because realistically, 4-star DPSs, most of them are difficult to play for one reason or another. Like the Chisa is the one they're going to give you right out the gate, and Chisa is playable and quite good, but not easy to use and single target only. And you can play dungeon, quite effective. However, you have to be happy to spend most of your time on one hit point, because you will.
That's alarming.
So you have to dodge perfectly all the time forever in exchange for massive damage.
Yeah,
because
I do not want Teemu Sephiroth either.
Yeah, Teemu Sephiroth is not very good from all accounts. His main problem is that he's too interruptible and has no interrupt resist. I don't know if that changes when you are Aristeel and you just get wave band after wave band for him. Maybe he gains interrupt resist. I don't know.
Maybe.
But unless you're Aristeel, you can't count on that. No, there's no interrupt resist in his wave bands at a quick glance. There really should be. If there was, he would probably be usable because most people would get him into wave band 1 eventually. But as it is, like it's still the case that he has a very high damage ceiling. The problem is that in a real fight, you're not going to get there.
If the boss was a target dummy, and this was like Genshin, where you could sometimes finagle a boss into being a target dummy, maybe you could get away with that. But that is not how this game operates.
Yeah, the bosses will not stand still, as I know from attempting to farm Threnodian. Threnodian is not very cooperative.
There's a whole lot of them bosses that just don't play ball. UA, Threnodian.
UA is always miles away from you wherever you are. Threnodian, UA is not there. The one that actually has annoyed me the most times though is Lamp Lumen Myriad.
Which one's that one?
Like the number of time Lamp Lumen Myriad is the ice one that you need to farm for.
Oh, for that one, yeah. Because if you let it do its second hop,
the number of times I popped an ult and it's just disappeared on me, and I've whiffed because it's just teleported behind me or something, is ridiculous.
Yeah, because after its second ice pulse, it just likes to go away.
There we go.
But, yeah.
And I'm just doing backflips. So, yeah.
Yeah, so, and I guess I don't have. I get Aristeel was further back last week in the story than me, So me going into story content is probably a waste of time because it follows on from whatever Ari's going to say. So I'll probably just leave it there.
Okay. I have no idea what
But I
we've been
don't
firming up.
remember where Ari was up to.
I had just finished Augusta's story right before the show.
Right.
And then I spent, because I knew this week was going to be a pain in the butt, like a massive pain in the butt, and it turned out to be the first 3 days of this week were totally washed, Monday through Wednesday. I basically couldn't do anything.
And you made up for it the subsequent days because you somehow managed to spend 30 hours on Wuwa.
Yeah, well, like I said before, Sunday was the big day in the last 7 days that I got stuff done, because I just marathoned functionally the rest of the 2.6 and 2.7 story, which was
So you did, and Galbrona and Blind Swordsman Guide.
yeah, the Blind Swordsman
Plus
Guide's
Pitch.
yeah, the Blind Swordsman Guide story is might not even be an hour long.
This is where we go to patch over all of the plot holes that we had during the last. What should we call it?
The only really close to needful one was, I think we're just going. That looks good. So yeah. So we picked up with Yuno's story. So Augusta's story, liked it a lot. It was great. It had big peak ending. Super hype music, super hype boss fight, even though I'd fought that boss like 800 times. Still really cool because you have to do it with Augusta and Arrow Rover, and that's Augusta is just a fun character to play, even though her kit looks like it's got a lot of buttons. Or rather, the same number of buttons as everybody else, but you can make them do different things. Even the jump button gets in on the action. Oh, that was perfect. Group them up like that in the circle again, and we can insta-delete them.
Fortunately, I can't do it all that often.
So yeah, I have noted before in this game, its cinematography director has a preference. It loves first-person shots, and it doesn't really become prevalent until you get to Renacida. But this has been their way to make the camera be more dynamic instead of just stuck in a conversation.
I'll take it.
Yeah. So there's a reason I bring it up. Like, I don't mind this choice. It works fine in most cases, but there are two logical conclusions you can go with the first person camera, and we hit both of them in the course of 2.6 and 2.7. The first one is look down through Yuno's eyes. I'm Yuno now. Now Yuno's flat, so you don't look down and get.
He's not flat. That's harsh.
Well, okay. She's not flat, but she's in the chair in such a way that she's leaning forward, so you only get her hand. So we don't get to take that all the way to its logical conclusion. And our rovers are used to that anyway, so they don't have to worry about it. Ferns is not. So that'll be interesting. But you get to go through a little first-person section and go through bits of Yuno's life, and it's super character-focused. The presentation's a little wacky in it. It's not bad, and it works, but I just got that live stream, but it takes place in a scenario that is, while you're going through it, very sparsely detailed. We'll say it's a grayscale blob until you get to event points, and then you see parts of Yuno's life. And you learn about her and the little bit about what she had to do at the end of Augusta's story that I won't spoil. It turns out that wasn't just her talking out of her butt. Stick for these guys. Guilt. A lot of dudes. So it was all right. It very much so was pushing you to waifu the foot girl. And it did all right at that. I think I liked by the end of it. And the bits you get to control her, you don't get to control her as much as a bunch of the other characters when you get them to use them in the main story or their character quests. But you get to control her a little bit, and she's fun to play. I like her little dive through the water with her enhanced jump attack that makes the camera do a flip.
I think that's really cool. Like that, I still don't really understand how they implemented it. Like, I don't really get what's going on. All I know is that it's very convincing at what they're trying to do. Like,
Yeah,
it's really cool. I love the implementation of that visual effect.
yeah, it looks really good. So yeah, she's still a foot girl, and she is she can be used on a lot of teams apparently. So
Yeah, she's a jack of all trades. She's not the best in any category, but she can fill nearly any role to some extent.
where the stick? But yeah, she's good. But yeah, I enjoyed the little bit you get to play as her, and I've poked at her in at least one future event that we'll get to in a bit, or the current event, because she's one of the characters you can mess with. And yeah, that was all good. There's not much to write home about her story because it's just the consequences of her actions in the main story.
Yeah, it's very much just her character story. It doesn't really have much bearing on the world as a whole, as opposed to keeping her involved.
Yeah,
Like, it's just that's what it's for, so that she doesn't stop being involved in the story.
yeah. So the next story has much more of the overarching story for the region being played out. Right over here. And but it's also very much so Galbraith's story. And oh boy, does she get a lot of story. Now, I missed something that I'm not going to spoil for Fern, but the foreshadowing was 120% there when I thought about it. I just missed it because of UI spoilers because I pulled for Galbraith as the first character I pulled. And that's who Galbraith is. You actually have already met her by the time you get to that point.
I did pick up on it. I did pick up on it before the reveal, but I picked up on it way later than I should have.
Yeah, so they're not super heavy-handed with it, but it is a good reveal for a character. And the reason I didn't twig to it is because it says that Galbraith is associated with the Black Shores in her UI. But that's not really the case right away. Like she doesn't go say hi to the Black Shores people until later. And even then it seems more like she's doing contract work for them than being a formal member of the Black Shores. But her faction affiliation is listed as the Black Shores and not Septimont. So I wasn't looking for any kind of foreshadowing that was there until the very end when I was like, oh, that makes sense. But yeah, I thought that reveal was very well done, and circumstances just happened to make it catch me even more off guard than normal. So Galbraith, I got a picture. I have a few pictures, but send it to Fern last. So when I said that, oh man, she is just a Dante XP, and Vol was like, you don't know yet. You don't know how much.
and you didn't. You didn't.
Yeah, like I'm like, okay, so we're gonna get over the top with some of the references. Well, minor spoilers. That doesn't mean anything because it's a Devil May Cry reference. Just pulls.
You can never have too many Devil May Cry references.
Pulls the Dante thing, and not only does she pull the Dante thing of getting stabbed, but she also pulls the magic glowy sword out like Dante. It doesn't dissipate in magic; she just rips it out of herself like Dante does,
and then just walks it off.
And this is to say nothing.
Nobody uses any ability like that anywhere in the game. It's there entirely to facilitate the reference.
Yeah. So, and if that wasn't enough, the entire, and I mean the entire cutscene that first introduces her into the main story in 2.7 proper, aside from, the few oral farming teaser shots we got before that, is a homage is not big enough for what that was. It is almost a shot-for-shot recreation of the opening of Devil May Cry 4. Up to the point where Nero would normally engage Dante at the end. It cuts right before that. Like, the girl says, just in case you weren't clear, tons of her movements are based on Bayonetta's stuff, but her vocal lines are all got Devil May Cry references in them. Apparently, she's called a devil hunter in the Japanese.
Yeah, they just call her Devil Hunter in English.
Yeah,
Like when I say English, I mean in the Japanese voice track, they call her Devil Hunter in using the English words Devil Hunter.
yeah, and then for some of her combat lines, like if you do a dodge counter with her, she goes jackpot with her, and then shoots the enemy with her pistols. Like in the very last dialogue you have with her as a character when she's riding off into the sunset to go do her merc thing again. She needs a new terminal because her terminal got busted in the story because she was going too hard. And you have a terminal in your hand, and one of the dialogue options is, if you want it, you'll have to take it.
You just try and kill the soldiers from Jinzhou.
Yes. But they were good boys and girls, so...
very polite.
Yeah, they're good boys and girls, so they didn't get whapped.
That's your favorite girl puffs.
If they insta-delete. Yes.
They sure did.
I don't know why the gold puffs
Eco for me.
accidentally went to DPS mode when I did that, so I got to get rid of all my DPS cards. If it doesn't insta delete, I don't want the DPS mode right now. I got a Chisa. Very tranquil village. Here. Way far away. Oh, let's go to Monkey Town.
Oh no.
So yeah, Girlfriend is a giant walking Devil May Cry reference, and with a bit of Bayonetta splashed in there from a lot of her moves just being straight references to moves from like Color My World and her other guns and Scarborough Fair and stuff. So yeah. That said, she is she's not just XP. She is incredibly important to this this patch, and they are going to make sure you are intimately familiar with her and her tragic upbringing before the end, because she has a friend that tags along with her as something to separate her from Dante, I guess.
At least it's not Cheshire.
At least it's not Cheshire.
Ugh. Yes.
But Chimera is a well, what he actually is a little bit of a spoiler, but he's a tacit discord that's a lion snake forget what the other animal is. Thing. You mostly see the lion head.
It's goat.
Yeah, goat.
Is it a goat? So he's a classic Chimera.
Yeah, and he is the yappiest thing in this video game. Both in story and in gameplay.
Yeah, honestly, it just sort of comes off as sort of like weirdly insecure. It's like he wants to be seen as sort of like gruff and stoic and sort of threatening, but realistically, he just wants to be involved.
Oh, another one? Oh no.
Yeah, and it kind of fits
It's a
with this
all over again.
Yeah, it kind of fits with his character for how he gets very ahawed by Galbraina whenever he pops up.
Does he end up locked up in a box for an entire chapter at one point?
He gets locked in a portal, but he seems to be able to break out of
enough.
it at will. And yeah, he's going to make sure you know all the down and dirty about Galbrena's past without actually telling you her original name until she tells you at the very end. And yeah, she has a really cool, because she's not using her natural forte ability. For when you see her in gameplay, and you only get to see her use it in story for brief sections, because the implication I got was that if she uses it at all, she's functionally overclocking the entire duration.
Yeah, that does seem to be the implication, is that for whatever reason, it's just not safe for her to use, either for her or for everybody around her. It's not really clear.
Mark this.
But I haven't looked into the fine details of it. I don't know if they're even actually included in the game text anywhere.
But the effect of this is we get Super Saiyan Galbrena that looks absolutely spectacular and goes hard every time it shows up.
You didn't like it when Zero did this.
Yeah, but I'll take it with Galbrena because it was just done so good. And the fight
Well,
she
the
has,
tone has already been set by the Devil May Cry sort of approach. It's like, oh, well, this is actually in character for Devil May Cry to do something outrageously corny and have everybody take it seriously as a hype moment.
yeah. And man, yeah. So functionally, it's like her pulling her devil trigger and it being just very over the top and silly, and it does look cool. It's like it makes her outfit all white. Turns out Galbrena is naturally blonde, so well, we take those because she gets her original hair color back and gets big old fire wings and stuff. It's really cool. And
Why you got to spoil everything, man?
well, it's spoilers for appearance, but I'm not saying what happens because there's a particular event she's involved in, her hypest moment, that I'm not going to spoil at all because it was so cool and dumb and over the top, and you should not win this fight, but you found a way to at least get out of it and come out on top with the particular opponent she has to fight at the end of the finale on her by herself. So yeah, there is a whole lot of Galbrena glazing and as the kids would say in the main story quest there, but it's so dumb and over the top I don't care. If they commit because they committed to the bit, I'll let them just roll with it. And then we get to logical conclusion of first person camera number 2.
It's gonna be like the Doom movie.
So when I got to the scene, I'm like, I think I literally said the only thing they can do to take this even further with their first person cinematography is to have an entire action cutscene done in first person, like the Doom movie with The Rock.
But why though?
Well, we did that. In fact, we did that so hard that it has several QuickTime events in it.
Oh my.
And it is the corniest over the top thing, and you will get many shots of how flexible Galbrena is in that particular bit with her legs, and get to see most of her assets moving through the flips and crap that she does. But it is mostly on rails, but it is a cool little section that just has her doing the most ridiculous acrobatics in first person. And
she has to bring her personal theme music along with her, because what Devil May Cry protagonist wouldn't?
Yeah, like, and it turns out those stupid tapes are canon.
Yeah, they are canon.
Like, and not just a Galbrena thing.
Explain how. No, this is a standard piece of kit, and Galbrena describes what it's used for as well. Like,
yeah,
you don't first hear about it from Chisa, so
yeah. So, uh-oh.
What did you find?
Uh-oh. Well, they're only level 90, so.
Oh, that's fine.
So
You delete it.
one of them's all yours.
Oh, is it Spectro? Where are you?
Managed to save up enough
It's into
juice.
me too. That's not any. Why am I getting so many immune pops?
Oh, might be seeing mine. Oh, you're seeing immune pop up because I've got the Spectro dot on it. It's just not doing any damage.
Right.
Prism Party. Crap. I hate when I do that.
I don't know that I've done that one. I'll have to flag it on the map for later.
So yeah, I really enjoyed it. The big ending finale of the Renacita story is the corniest action scene anime thing you've ever seen in your life, and I love it.
It had to be that way. I feel like it had to be that way.
Now, if you're played Female Rover, this turns into the girls and Brant. It's because Brant was the only male character released in 5.0. And while I'm not one to normally care about the gender ratios, and in fact would prefer there be less icky boys, it does look a little awkward in your big climactic scenario where
But this is Brent.
where there's just Brant.
Well, they left Timu Sephiroth at home, so.
Guess so.
He's just happy to be included.
Fire thingy. There's a fire. But yeah, it's everybody gets a shot. Like Feeb got some good billing in the big final battle. Like Carlotta and Booby Lady got a lot of billing together. They had a really cool shot together that was very short, but I thought was nice.
Very short, just like Carlotta.
Yeah, like the reveal at the end substantively doesn't do very much for us in terms of what we actually know about what that means. But it does opens doors to speculation for with Abby's real name.
Well, I mean, he tells you that when you first meet him.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, with the theme naming they got going on there, and what that implies is still speculation at this point. I can't draw much conclusions from it yet, but that's interesting teasing. I thought it was done fairly well. Wrong mode. Tried to air dash and accidentally held charge attack. Dump all those cards. So yeah, I love the finale. I thought it was really well done. It is long. But I didn't really care because it's all cheesy, over the top nonsense the whole time. I even liked what's his face, the Septimont dude that the blonde one, the boy,
The gladiator guy.
yeah, him with the spear. Like I thought his little bit was interesting, setting up the ending. Like they just did a good job with it.
Yeah,
So,
I enjoyed the whole thing. Like, just it's sort of hard to believe that it's the same game as 1.0.
yeah, it's like this is what happens when.
I think I need 5 this week. I still need 5? Yeah, I still need 5 because the Nightmare Nests don't count for some reason, even though you're doing the same fundamental activity.
Be sure to use your outro skill to summon Phoebe with the helicopter.
Okay.
Bonnie in. That's her C2 is kind of crazy with when in her outro skill to helicopter mode. It just does damage, but does a lot of damage.
I didn't see Concerto Energy get charged, so I didn't.
We'll have to get to the next one. Oh, right. I have to charge it on my character for you to use it, right?
Yeah, that's my understanding at present.
Oh,
I'm open to correction because I really don't understand how it works.
pop to the asset art field. So yeah, that was really good. And then the news story pretty much came out within just a few days of that, and I couldn't really do much Monday through Wednesday anyway. But I poured it on to get through the rest of Septimont / Renacida, and there really ain't much to talk about with Blind Guy's story. Teleport directly to the thing for some dumb reason. The stick. Didn't the stick work? Oh. Used my ult, and they're still alive. Those things. So yeah, not much to talk about with Blind Guy's story, and then you got what's his face? We got. Is there anything else after that? Oh, one thing.
There's a little scene with the Fraxidus, but other than that,
yeah, and that's just teasing. But the big thing I want to talk about before I move on to the current patch stuff is the worst event I've encountered in this game so far. And that is the card game, in air quotes, event. It's auto chess with cards. And the echoes you get are dumb. And yeah, you just basically make a deck of a bunch of echoes with effects, base that, and they all fight differently in unique ways and stuff, and that's all cute and whatever. But the problem is it's just boring and it takes forever, and you can only make it go 2 times speed. And because there's so much text in it, like so many events in this game, you will wind up in a position where you're just like, all right, I don't care if you and just net deck it. And the net deck for the most consistent win, because the AI starts to cheat a lot. Like they cheat hard. And that is how do I describe this? You start with 30 HP at the start of every round, and they will start starting with 75 and the equivalent of 6 mana on opening hand. Now, the AI is stupid, so you probably could get away with normal play, but I just did not want to deal with this event anymore, so I net decked it. And the best deck is to get Booby Lady and the car things from Jinjo, because the car things have a special effect where if you summon the car things, they can't do any damage. They do 0 damage when they attack, but they will instead do direct damage to the opponent, whether you win or lose the round, based on how long they were alive on the field. It's something like every 6 seconds they do 3 more damage each. So you just build a deck to rush to the stupid car bots and try and get that done. And the only reason I did this particular event was because it was one of the quest log dump ones. I was trying to clean out the quest log, and oh boy, this was a pain in the butt. Do not recommend that event at all.
oh, this doesn't count as me completing them.
What?
Yeah,
You don't have to claim them.
your completion's not mine.
Oh, dang it.
Why is it like this?
Yeah, and that's
Work on your multiplayer infrastructure, Wuwa.
That's the other thing we've noticed. There's a lot of stuff in multiplayer in this game that just doesn't work.
It doesn't work, and for no reason.
Yeah. Like
There's
the
literally no reason not to do it. It's not going to unbalance the game. It's not going to break the mechanics. They just don't let you do it because,
reasons.
yeah.
Yeah. So where? Oh, let's about to run around in circles. I was down there. A lot of exiles.
I always need more exiles. Can't get enough of those rings.
So yeah, yeah. The multiplayer experience is basically just this and echo farming. If you want to target specific stuff and doing the red mobs that are level 120, that can be a bit of pain in the butt if you do them solo. Yeah, you really can't do very much at all. Some of the events have multiplayer tags, like the anniversary one does, so I might be able to help you with that. But that one is well, not normal combat. There are cubes.
Odd cubes.
I mean, you control characters in something that resembles normal combat until you realize that the correct way to play is cube. So yeah, there's that. The current story, I am very neutral to it. I didn't dislike Chisa, but I didn't.
I feel like it's made for a very specific audience.
Yeah, if I was still like into romance anime and was watching quite a few of them recently, I probably would have liked it more. Um, you know, the dying girl on her last legs. Uh,
She's basically a key protagonist.
yeah, like we've seen this before. And but yeah,
Like everything about it is romance anime. The writing, the storyboarding, the camera work, the score, everything is like ripped straight from a romance anime. The whole thing plays out as a romance anime. The only thing that kept it from being overbearing was the fact that I play female rover. So it was a little bit more of an undertone rather than all of the overtones. If you play male rover, it's just going to look like you're playing a VN.
oh, we drowning.
Why would you do this, Aristeel?
We tried to card capture and had no stamina.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was not like a overjoying experience or anything. Like I wasn't super thrilled. I'm not going to remember it for the rest of my life or anything like that. But I didn't have any particular problems with it either. And it's more or less what I expect from the joining patch between two major versions. Like it's a story event, but it's relatively low key and probably won't echo through the ages to come or anything like that. But it is what it is, and it seems reasonable to suppose that unlike, say, Jinjo characters, Chisa will probably remain involved at least for a little while.
Yeah.
Because she still has a lot of unresolved stuff.
Yeah, they've done an okay job positioning specifically the Renacida characters, and maybe where they could easily pop back up again. The Jinjo characters are kind of stuck in Jinjo, and Augusta's kind of busy ruling Septimon. I doubt she's going to get very much vacation time.
Well, it's been made pretty clear that we're heading back to Huanglong at some point. Jinzhou's just the border city in Huanglong, but the capital of Minton's going to be a bit of a different story, I think. Whether or not they'll set a whole version there, or whether they'll just like
do a Chinyu Veil thing.
Yeah, it's or even just like a patch or two or something. It's hard to say what they'll do with that, but yeah, there's definitely we're definitely going to revisit Huanglong, but that will give them an excuse to bring the Jinzhou characters a bit more to the fore again.
So yeah, I did by chance find the fan nickname for Yang Yang being Yap Yap. for some reason, and I thought this was hilarious for no real reason. Just thought it was funny.
Is that so? I did
Yes.
not know that this was the fan nickname.
I didn't either. That's a red bear. Red bear. Doggies. Save my shoes.
It's the 120, all right.
I'm coming. I got kidnapped by doggies.
I was like, is this going to be like level 30 or level 120 or like, what are we talking here?
Dick.
But it's old level 120. It's not Renashita level 120.
Yeah, you almost soloed that. Got caught by these idiots.
Renashita 120 is a different beast.
Yeah. So yeah, Chisa's story is okay. It's about what I expected for the filler patch. I thought that because I haven't looked at any of the marketing or teaser stuff, and I don't go on social media, that the Japanese area would be more like the intro spot go into the next zone type, and I didn't know that the Academy and Frosted area are the next area. So that was all nice to get brought up then, and it teases those regions and shows how we're going to get there. And there might be some timey-wimey shenanigans going on, which would fit with the theming of this patch.
If they are going to do a full-scale Japanese region based on what's going on with Star Rail, they've probably put it on the back burner for a wee while.
Yeah. So I wonder
wait for things to cool down. Or for trying to invade Taiwan, I guess. That could also happen.
Yeah. So yeah. The event for this patch, there's a skeleton here that could be a good event.
The thing is that it felt like it was a skeleton. Like, it didn't feel like... It doesn't feel to me like this whole patch was executed as it was written in the design document, because it felt to me like the event would have been interwoven with the rest of the story and being a vessel for the storytelling, as opposed to the entirety of the event's mechanics being located entirely outside the story. I mean, if you look at the way they introduce it, when you arrive in Hanami City, they introduce all the mechanics up front as though you're going to spend any time at all with them, and then you don't.
Yeah, and then
it does seem as though like it was originally going to be the framework for exploring Hanami City as a whole, as opposed to just, oh well, this is the event mechanics.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because you can still get to the Nightmare Nest from inside of Normal City, I think, or the explorable part of the city.
Oh yeah, because I mean, I did that. When during the week, I did as much of the story as would get me access to the Nightmare Nest, which was like 5 minutes.
So yeah, it's very odd how a lot of things are put together. There are two big issues holding this event back. The first is basically you get to play BlazBlue Unlimited characters for a huge chunk of the cast, more recent cast, plus Magistrate Girl from Jinjo. I
just killed a bunch of random mooks.
Went up the cliff. Saw on my sensor. Oh, that's a lot of exiles coming in with a stick. But yeah, the first thing is you're functionally playing unlimited versions of the characters a la BlazBlue. which means none of the characters play like you might expect them to if you've got to play with them in the story semi-recently. And they're all going to do some kind of crack nonsense. Now, you could go and read the text for it, but that text is going to be a encyclopedia page. So, not really a appetizing thing to do there. And yeah, it's just gonna. It's just not a good time. The other problem is they have bolted on inventory management for some godforsaken reason to this event. And even after upgrading your inventory, you still can't carry very much, and you wind up just having to throw stuff away.
Yeah, very quickly.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't feel good.
Well, until you realize that none of it has any real worth.
Yeah, it doesn't have any real value, and the dongo is incredibly easy to get, especially at the end once you unlock the tower, because the tower takes like 3 minutes to do, and you get a crap load of dongos from it. And you don't even have to do the hardest difficulty to get that. You only have to do the hardest difficulty once. For asteroid. Ooh, good. They're still alive on my screen. There they go. Haven now. Oh, probably got a bookmark. I just see your golden ratio going off as lines from your character in random directions whenever it triggers, tagging like the entire world around you.
It even tags the ore.
Yeah.
It does golden ratio damage to the ore ore nodes.
So yeah. Yeah. And yeah, the inventory management just puts a big damper on the whole thing, and that teleport did not like me trying to teleport with my circle that far away. What did you do to those poor guys?
Get them.
I saw 50,000 pop up.
Support damage, bro. That's what really poor decisions about expenditure of asteroid can do to a character.
I mean, I could do that to the little ones, but that's only with 24k. I need to dump my bar to do it, and put them in the circle. So yeah.
Lord Polygon.
Purple one.
Perhaps so.
Might have more. But I got flight for this. I will scout for. Oh, that's new. Oh, I'm stuck. Stuck on pigs. So yeah, the current event, like,
It's an event. It could
yeah,
have been better polished. It wasn't. I feel like they were probably running up against a time limit. That's what it feels like.
yeah,
That
like
their development schedule did not permit them to polish it as much as they wanted. That's what it felt like to me. Like if they had another 2 weeks, they would have iterated on it and probably made it a lot nicer. But that didn't happen.
yeah,
But this is the thing though with gacha development is they've got to comply with these timeframes. And you know, a lot of the reason that I'm able to like really get stuck into these gacha games and play them at length, and I'm willing to, you know, throw stupid amounts of money at them and so on, is because I know they're going to give me more stuff to do when the 6-week period is up or whatever.
circle.
Bully the cows.
Meat. Their cooking leveled up.
I haven't done that yet, actually. Like, at all.
So yeah. And yeah, I don't really have much more to say about it. That's been the Wuwa experience. It's pretty much been the only thing I've done. The Genshin and the Hoyoverse writ large has just been
Shooting practice.
goodness gracious. Gonna have to run through the whole cave doing this.
Lol. But yeah, I haven't finished that event yet. I haven't gotten to the tower thing, but it seems that generally speaking, people are enjoying it. The community seems to be receiving the event portion as being sort of like they feel like it's more engaging than the Banners Never Fall, is what I've seen being brought up quite a bit.
Yeah, I like the Banners Never Fall event. I really wish you could do it in multiplayer because that would be a lot of fun.
I did. I think I did it. But I'm not really sure if I've done it all. I played myself pretty significantly, repeatedly on the final boss. That it took me a very long time before I worked out what the mechanics actually were. By which point it was kind of too late to worry about it.
Yeah, I remember that one being a little fruity.
Basically, there's no point in even attempting to do damage to it for any reason other than if you don't, it's just going to get an enormous shield. You cannot claim more drops. Oh, fantastic.
Must be for what it is that's triggering it here. I thought it was money in Renacida.
I think the money keeps getting picked up. I think it's everything else doesn't.
Yeah, that's possible.
I'm not 100% sure about that though. It's a little bit confusing to me.
Maybe it's shell credits. They don't want you having enough dodge to level up all your characters.
I'm still getting shell credits.
I don't know. So yeah, that's the current state of Wuwa. I'm enjoying it so far. It's going to slow down considerably, aside from clearing out event backlog because it's already to go through. But that's fine. We'll have a new region in a bit to explore, and we'll have new 3.0 story, and Karthithia may be coming back for a rerun in 3.0, and that'll give me something to hopefully not have to spend real world money on. But for her design, I might do it, and her gameplay was fun. But she is a blonde, and I can't just say no to that. Oh right, that was not a burn it down one. That was or
I don't think I've done this.
girlfriend. I know you're not a minor, but well, in a sense you are. But you can hit the or girlfriend.
We don't know how old she is.
I get the feeling she's like 16.
At least she might just be particularly short or something. After all, Carlotta is.
Yeah, but she kind of has that naive energy of being a really young girl. The Feeb's
Well, it's sort of implied in some of the text that they deliberately kept her that way, because it plays well with the faithful.
I just don't want her to ever stop being adorable.
Pretty much.
I mean, I can see how that could be a strong motivator. Phoebe is adorable. Circle. Oh, more. Or why did you? Not where we were aiming that circle. So yeah, I don't really have much else to go on Wuwa. I have not done any Hoyo stuff. Played a little bit, like a couple, like not even a couple hours, like an hour of DJ Max with Ibu this week. But Golden Ratio has found a friend up here with 1/3 of his health just gone. And yeah, I just don't have very much because this week at work has been nightmare, and I only had Sunday plus Thursday night, Friday afternoon, Friday night, and today to do stuff. And most of today has been spent just running around Wong Long trying to undo the bad decisions of last night. So yeah, I don't have anything else for my week. So now that Fern's not getting kidnapped by dog, if he's got anything, because we also don't have an email.
When is the
No.
Game Awards?
That is 2 weeks' time, I believe.
Right, because I've seen a lot of people online burbling about them. Well, namely the Hoyo Twitter have been trying to rally each other to vote for Uma Musume to ensure Wuwa doesn't get any awards, because that makes sense.
Well, we already got
3 weeks.
we got 1,000
Plenty of
astrite just for the nomination.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. I need it. Goodness knows. But the thing that people need to remember is that the weighting of community voting is 10%, and the other 90% is just what the panel decides. So, and the panel is chosen specifically to be people that will have the same opinion and the same politics on purpose. So the only situation in which the audience votes matter is if the candidates are so bland that there's a tie break needed and nobody in the council that making the decision really cares about the result.
Yeah.
And
The
honestly,
entire thing is a total farce. And it needs to be a farce because Keeley needs the quote right unquote people to win.
I wonder which token award he'll throw to Silk Song so he doesn't get lynched.
Probably best indie.
The whole affair with the voting they make such a huge deal out of is not about the voting at all. It's just about getting eyes on the show because those eyes are what Keeley sells to make his money and get his clout.
That's true. Then all the money's in the advertising slots. So yeah, that's been a big chunk of what I've seen as the news this week, is people screaming about who won this award at this game show or that game show, or who got nominated at the Keeley show, and who should have been, and on and on and on. And honestly, it doesn't freaking matter, really.
Yeah, I've seen a whole lot of burbling. Like, people are expecting Clear Obscure to sweep it all.
Well, in a fair world, it probably would.
Yeah. What do you mean I can't interact with a levitation cube in co-op mode?
Because no.
Probably because you could use it to beam me on the head or something. I don't know.
Well, I could interact with the other levitation cube. Pop that there. Who needs your cube? You got people.
Yeah. So just doing a quick flick through the Keeley show, we'll probably talk about this maybe at the end of the year or so, but Claire Obscura is in the vast majority of categories.
It better be, because it'll be a freaking riot if not.
But also, so is Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding 2. I didn't even know Death Stranding 2 came out.
Oh, I didn't realize it was out. I thought it was in like development hell or something.
Yeah. But honestly, Death Stranding 2's not being there is really not a surprise because no one's been talking about it. But
And,
it's Kojima.
Kojima's his basically his boyfriend at this point.
Yeah.
Well,
but,
he He may think Kojima's his boyfriend. Does Kojima know that?
I don't know.
I don't know at all. Yeah, Death Stranding 2
There-
on the beach.
there-
Actually,
There's definitely pictures on Keely's bedroom wall.
yes.
He has an unhealthy attachment to that man.
Stranding 2. When did it come out? Apparently in June. Okay.
Huh. I guess nobody cared.
Apparently it's set in Australia, so yeah, there you go. I guess nobody cared.
They needed somewhere even more hostile than the original setting.
I guess. I mean, if things weren't eldritch enough, now they're eldritch and spidery. I guess. So, yeah, that's a game that came out. But the other game in there is Ghost of Yotei.
Ow.
Ghost of Yotei, honestly, people have not been particularly favourable about. But it's also like the journo's darling.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's just not good. That's the thing. Like, it's
That's
not
it.
bad either. Like in terms of like sales and how it did as a product, it did okay. Like, laid
Yep.
aside all of the other issues with it, because it's yet another Western action game about lesbians. Because that appears
Yeah.
to be every Western action game now.
Look at this. Best performance. 3 of the 6 slots are Cloud Obscure. The other 3 are Erika Ishii from Ghost of Yotei, because, of course. Kanatsu Kato for Silent Hill F, and Troy Baker, because, Troy Baker. But,
Because we couldn't not give him an award 1 year, or at least nomination.
yeah. Honestly, Silent Hill F seems to have done pretty well from everything I could tell. It's just that Silent Hill is, and always will be, a fairly niche title.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say what a niche title means these days, because niche title just means, played by streamers and seen by millions.
Yes. Either that,
And
or it's
how do
not
you
AAA grade paced.
how do you be niche these days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You start niche until a streamer picks you up, and then suddenly, like Demon Souls was niche once upon a time, but
Was.
not
Like,
anymore.
in any other era, like, do you think Balatro would have been a smash hit?
Yeah, no. That
No.
would have
Would have been
qualified for
as
niche.
niche as it comes, but instead it was as mainstream as it got when it was riding high.
Yeah.
I have standard banner pulls. I
And
have 4 of
the
them.
other big thing that's been going on is people reeing about the best debut indie game category.
I heard somebody steps down from that category after
Yeah,
being nominated.
Megabonk was also nominated, but the developer of Megabonk, despite what people on the YouTubes are wanting to say, he stepped down largely because he just doesn't want the spotlight.
Well, I mean, what he said was that he didn't qualify for it.
He says he didn't qualify, yeah, but honestly, you're going to be hard pressed to find someone who's made a game that's big enough to get into the spotlight like this, who has not had some degree of gaming experience
Studio
or development
experience.
experience. Like the Caleb
It's not
Obscure
about.
is up
It's not
there.
about having. It's not about whether you've got gaming or development experiences. Whether you've got large studio experience working under a publisher, a significant publisher.
Yeah. So naturally, the argument has been all about whether or not Expedition 33 should be there, because they're all experienced developers, but it's a debut for the studio. Honestly, the same could be said for Dispatch, because a lot of those people, like, it's a new studio, but I think a lot of them are ex-Telltale. So,
I mean, this is why it's a voluntary step down as opposed to we made a mistake type of thing. Because I mean, they have to have some criteria. Although we've never been able to establish what the criteria are for things like family-friendly game or games for impact are, or anything like
Yeah.
that.
You've got, let's see, I'm just doing a quick flick through of other notable stuff in here. Innovation and accessibility and the game for Impact both have South of Midnight in them. Honestly, accessibility has not had a big step forward this year. So all the games that are in there are just there to fill the space.
I don't
Honest,
think that they're generally anything like a big step forward. Like there are basically, until somebody has like a brain machine interface that can be used to play video games, there's not going to be a step forward.
Well, that brain machine interface is probably about only a short time off by the look of it.
well,
Depends.
talk to Musk.
Depends on how much wetware is required.
Yeah.
But yeah, also I don't put a whole lot of value in accessibility when I watch somebody play Dark Souls on the saxophone and I watch another guy play it with his feet.
That's actually impressive.
You people on your feet.
Also, yes, the feet. But no, I'm more talking about how would Dark Souls on the saxophone sound?
It sounds like Dudes, but he was playing his custom soundtrack with it, and the reason I know this is because I saw a clip of him playing, and he was playing Dark Souls 3, and he gets the Nameless King boss fight, and he had Backstreet Boys come up on his, with Backstreet's Back, come up on his playlist at the start of the fight, and he gets the mid-fight cutscene, and in perfect sync with the beat drop and the chorus kick in, and when the Nameless King brings his spear down to suck the power out of his dragon thing, it goes to the back streets back. All right,
That is incredible.
Aristeel's like one of my people.
I was like, yeah, I'll find the clip.
So yeah, the accessibility one is there's a placeholder. So some years there's like someone come along with a new idea and makes things better for everyone, and that's great.
It just seems to me like this is not really about recognizing achievement. This is about this is an important thing and we want people to pay attention to it. So we have to keep it being a category even if there's nothing interesting in there.
This makes us look like virtuous and upstanding people, even though we're all, people that attend the Game
The
Awards.
gaming equivalent of Hollywood scumbags.
Yeah. Whereas Impact this year is probably going to go South of Midnight because we've got to give it something. Even though they took a really cool idea and just, burned it down to the swamp. Why could that game could have been so good, but no.
Making
anyway,
quality products is not what video games is about.
Yeah. Let's see. Sim strategy is about as vague as it usually is. You've got Final Fantasy Tacticals, Final Fantasy Tactics setting up against something like, 2 Point Museum. It's very, very broad. So anyway, we'll come back to the Keeley show at some point in the future.
Yeah, I really, really am curious to see what the judges go with, because Clair Obscur has all the trappings in its if you look at it just from the outside of an indie darling, like we lived in a sane, or not indie darling, but just a critical darling in a sane world. But at the same time, it's a good video game.
It is a very good video game.
Like that was incredibly novel.
Gonna make everybody else look worse by comparison.
Yes, they made the whole industry look like clowns.
At a cheaper price.
Yes, and then just after they got done reeling over that, Skong came out.
At a cheaper price.
At a cheaper price. So yeah, Clair Obscur is up here for so many categories, and Skong is also in a lot of them as well.
Yeah, well, if Keeley didn't at least nominate Silk Song for like every award, he would be murdered.
Yeah. There's the obligatory Fortnite nomination, of course.
I wonder if
most anticipated game. Most of these games, I think people have forgotten about.
Like, the only anticipated game I see people yapping about now is still GTA 6.
GTA 6 has been delayed so long at this point. I think it's gone from anticipation to exasperation.
Like we are
Well, it's
quickly
become a
approaching.
meme.
Yeah, we are
It
quickly
has.
approaching Skong Win meme here. Like we're about.
Yeah.
We're about. If they had a mascot, it would be in a clown suit.
Hong Hong. Yeah, The Witcher 6. The Witcher 6. We're not up to The Witcher 6 yet. Witcher 4 is probably going to take that, but yeah.
You don't need my stuff with whatever you're doing to those poor guys. Put the
Yeah.
circle down.
Anyway.
They're already dead.
Was there any other news? I don't really think there was. Yeah. A lot of people. There was a bit of a spurg out earlier this week from the Steam hardware side of things, particularly with the Steam Machine.
Is it Linus?
It was Linus. And it's a reminder again that Linus isn't the big the know-it-all that people like to think he is. He's just a guy.
How could he look any less like a know-it-all? I'm not sure why people worship him so much. He might be right. He might be 100% right in his what he said, what his interpretation was. Like, I think that would be like what he is assuming is the case is what I assumed going in.
That would be priced as the Steam Machine would be priced as a console.
No, what he assumed that people were going to think that it was priced like a console, aka himself, and it's going to turn out not to be, and everybody's going to be shocked by that. Because, frankly, the cost of hardware is just really high right now.
Yeah,
and
no way is it going to be priced as a console.
It's going to be priced as an entry-level PC. The question is whether or not there's a market for what they can do at that price point. It's not a question of is it priced like a console or not. So what he was projecting from his inferences is probably quite legitimate, but he's still Linus. He's just a clout chaser ultimately.
He's just a guy.
Like that's why I don't go to him for any tech information ever. I usually prefer the Nexus guys because they're just raging autists. Like if you want a guy to just read you stats for half an hour on the latest benchmark results, then they're your people.
Yeah, it could be worse.
And they do actual investigative reporting which has personal risk associated with it and so on, which is why they keep getting contacted by the Secret Service.
Yes. So at least Linus is still better than PC Part Picker.
Oh, well, I mean, you're not setting the bar very high, are you?
No, that bar is buried. But hey, that's because PC Part Picker buried it, because jeez.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, I drowned.
Oh. What?
Oh dear.
I found the one speck of water.
There's enough water to drown here?
For Phoebe, there
Apparently.
Is this a gnomes in the
Black
Dark
Mirror
Portal situation?
Yes. All right, so I think that's about it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to let's see if I can have a last minute scraping my brain. My social media feed was so jammed full of people freaking out about the Star Rail thing that I didn't really have room in my feed for any other news.
Yeah.
I know there's also a fight going on over the Gothic remake, but I don't really know the details of it.
Okay, I've been keeping up.
Apparently, they've been changing and censoring a bunch of stuff that people are really unhappy about.
How would you know?
Gothic
didn't work.
The developer. Well, the thing is that in Eastern Europe, Gothic is like the game of games.
Mm-hmm.
Like people love it. It's like ultra popular. I don't know what they do with it, but it is popular.
Presumably, they're able to play it.
So, and they don't like people touching their baby, basically. But the main reason this has turned into a furore is because the developer has responded by basically locking all criticism anytime it comes up, which is always the best thing to do, right?
Yep. It's also becoming the default response. Don't accept criticism. Don't listen to feedback. Just block and gaslight.
And they have been doing so with aplomb. and people are not very happy about that, and saying that they are cancelling their subs and their not their subs, their pre-orders and that sort of thing. Like, why would you pre-order Gothic title? My goodness, you have to love it an awful lot to do that.
Despite all its jank and its crashiness and its wonkiness, I do still have a soft spot, or did still have a soft spot for Gothic. Those games are built almost entirely upon jank, and they were completely breakable, and it wasn't all that hard. But yeah, if the developers are going to just do that old chestnut, it's just no. I got better things to do.
Yeah, but I haven't seen much else news-wise that I can call to mind at the minute. I just remember seeing people squabbling about that one. Unfortunately, I was subjected to very strange selections of news from the algorithm, such as the new bundle of the Cho Aniki games, which is not something I needed to see in my feed.
Okay. At least my feed stopped coming up with Uma Musume for some reason. If for some reason it just went on a kick and say everything wanted to be Uma Musume.
Well, lots of people are talking about it, and it's going to be tethered to other chatter that you might be more interested in, and so it's trying to taste for whether you're doing this horse girl thing as well. But
yeah,
there's been a huge amount of squabbling in that community because the usual tourists have entered it and they've said this game was never intended for straight men. This game was designed with lesbians as the target audience. I don't know how they arrive at this conclusion, but they probably didn't really have a rationale to begin with.
No.
But there's been quite a bit of squabbling about it, because they're doing that thing where they try and gaslight the old school fans into being treated as like not real fans or whatever. And so they have now created all these safe space groups, but the screenshots I've seen from inside their LGBT WTF BBQ safe space Uma Musume fan groups seems to be a lot of grooming going on.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
anywho,
if they really want to move being an alphabet person into the public domain as a way of wearing a badge saying you're a child molester, they're doing a really good job of it.
I wonder how many of them are from India. We had very briefly the ability to see.
Well, people have been posting screenshots of that. All of the sort of like supposedly trad Europa sites accounts all being run by Indians and Pakistanis and that, and
a conspicuous.
Realistically, most of them aren't very good at keeping the kayfabe up. So
a conspicuous amount of the ones involved in U.S. politics are from Canada and India.
Yeah, it do be that way,
Mr. Stansel.
I saw there was some there are some fake ones going around though as well.
Mm-hmm.
So unless they actually bring it back as a live feature, because I heard they took it down. I don't know if it's still down or if it's back up or what.
Apparently the story with that is that Elon realized a problem. In that there are some countries where you can be held legally liable for what you say, and you still need anonymity of country to not stop people like, the British Home Office from doing draconian authoritarian things to you. So if you live in one of those countries, he's given you the ability to hide your thing, but apparently the feature's still coming back.
Right. Well, I mean, the thing is that you can't sort of have a halfway house there. Like, you don't want someone to be able to circulate an incorrect screenshot in an environment where it can't be checked. It's bad enough that people are going to fake it to begin with, but it kind of needs to be live. Anyway, was there any other things? There's some chatter about Steins Gate reboot, but I don't think it was anything particularly groundbreaking. Pokemon DLC, I don't really care about Pokemon, let alone DLC anymore.
Wait. Mages and 5PB aren't totally dead yet? I thought they were, like, floundering. because of mismanagement. The guys that do the science adventure stuff.
Spike Chunsoft is in charge of it now.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're bankrolling Marcus to full stop to do it. But yeah, I don't know what the commercial status of it is because it keeps getting delayed and delayed and delayed. So, I saw a discussion online about the apparent decline, the apparent cognitive decline in modern society, where in former societies, and even probably in living memory for you guys, every kid could remember like a dozen different phone numbers without too much difficulty.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember dialing my friends' phone numbers on the reg.
Yeah, and I know what my friends' phone numbers were back from when I was 6. And I don't know any of people that I regularly call's phone numbers now, but this people were moulding about, oh, this is just an ability that's gone from society now. These lazy Zoomers and Gen Alphas, they don't remember anything because they don't need to. The machines do it all for them. The ability's just lost. And I'm like, no, it's not. People still remember colossal quantities of cultural information. It's just all that cultural information is about Pokemon.
Yeah.
Because people do commit that stuff to memory, right? The Pokemon enthusiasts, they do. They just, oh, I know all of the Pokemon in this particular version, and I know all of their types, and I know their moves, and I know their weaknesses, and so on and so forth. Like, we still have that ability. It's just that we use it on Pokemon instead of constructive things.
I mean,
It's always been the way. Like, people tend to remember stupid things for whatever reason.
I remember having both the ability, the needful need to know my friends' phone numbers and knowing all the original 151 and most of the subsequent 100 for gold and silver.
Everyone in our generation knew at least the 151, but I mean, we're still not exactly a literate society, are we? Like, people don't read books anymore, as a general rule. Like, statistically speaking, the last set of stats I saw online was that something like 45-ish% of people don't read a single book in any given year.
Yeah.
And that's counting audiobooks.
Yeah. Yeesh. Speaking of, Next Dresden Files went out to publishing several months ago. It should be coming out early next year.
Ah! It exists!
I really fell off that train, like,
well, so did the author, so it's fine.
I don't even know where I got up to, or like Skin Game or something.
Skin Game is when the whole series kind of takes a big tonal shift anyway.
I'll have to start from the beginning again, I think. But I don't really look forward to rereading Stormfront. It wasn't very good.
Stormfront was not good.
Yeah, if you have a way to do... Actually, I have the MP3 files. Don't tell anyone I told you that. Because I won't use Audible anymore. But yeah, the James Marsters audiobooks are definitely something to experience. He
does such a good job with them.
Like the quality of the first 3 books themselves, he takes a few books to get his feet, but once he gets rolling, it's hard to experience those things in any other way than with James Marsters reading them to you.
I've always been a bit sort of leery of audiobooks in the sense that, like, I feel like it shouldn't be a replacement for actual reading.
I like playing video games too much, and there are too many grindy sections in all the video games I like, and audiobooks are just too good for filling that slot.
No, I'd use them while I'm working.
Oh, that's true. I don't drive as much as I used to, but I do use them in the car when I do drive.
They're fantastic for that.
Yeah.
I don't think I could digest a story properly in my commute, because my commute is like half an hour-ish, plus or minus 15 minutes each way, depending on how many laws I break. I think my record is something like 22 minutes to work. But if I try and make that journey at rush hour, we're looking at about 50.
Yeah. So audiobook would be the good thing there. Or actually, if you're sitting in like bumper to bumper traffic, just a regular book would work.
Yeah, well, the thing with bumper to bumper traffic is that the city that I live in is not big enough for bumper to bumper traffic to not move.
Mm.
It's just everybody is moving, but everybody is moving at 5 kilometers an hour.
Ah, the Atlanta problem.
Yep, because some twat decided to go to brake check someone half an hour ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Feeb. Is that a lemur?
I don't know. I was going to ask you that earlier. I haven't seen much of the wildlife in this game because it tends to get caught in AoE.
Phoebe just has like a lemur come out and she just plays with it. Whatever idle poses.
Just random monkey.
I don't think it's quite a lemur. It's more like it's sort of like halfway between being like a lemur and a ferret.
Yeah, it's like a ferret lemur cat thing. Just appears on her shoulders.
Huh. Okay. Random monkey cat pet.
Seems to enjoy hanging around Phoebe, but everything would enjoy hanging around Phoebe. Horrible.
Yeah. Anyway, we should wrap up because otherwise we're just waffling.
Okay.
All right. This has been the Stick and Scissors Show. Fern will eventually join us at World Level 22 one day.
Yeah, I think I've gotten a couple of levels today, so.
Yeah.
And we can get heaps of green echoes from his world.
More stuff!
Oh no,
No, echoes are instanced.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh, okay, that's alright then.
What we'll get is a whole bunch of trash we could throw to the echo grinder. Because all ours are max rarity no matter what. We're both at 100% yellow drop rates in our worlds.
Can't get the baby echoes just to feed.
I tried to zoom in on that lemur and I ended up doing something a bit untoward.
Oh my.
Why would you do this to poor Feeb?
It's not my fault.
That camera, yo. It's got ideas.
Sure does.
But, like, Feeb is totally
hey,
covered.
I found the plastic chair on top of a mountain.
On one of them.
One of them.
There are multiple.
And there's also an achievement, a storm that is approaching achievement.
Of course it's called The Storm is Approaching.
Yeah.
What else would you call it?
So, all right, folks. We'll see y'all next week. Sayonara. Bye-bye. Praise the deep. Uwu.